Okay, everybody, I'm going to show you how to use a blob brush. I'm not an expert at it, but I'm getting there. It's kind of cool, actually. The first thing is, I've noticed that a lot of you are just dragging pictures in that you want to trace, and the better way to do it is to go to File, Place, and I'm not sure why it's better, but you end up with less problems, I guess you can say. So place, then you'll get this weird thing that looks like this. Where can I put? That's my, it's supposed to be a dachshund, but he turned out to be a Doberman. So I'm going to make like a little cartoon out of him. Let's see here. The first thing is we can double click here. We can make it a template and dim it to 50%, whatever you want to do. You can change the color. I'm going to just make it yellow because that's my least favorite color. And I'm going to say OK. So it dimmed the picture. I'm going to hit a new layer. And something I've noticed with the blob brush is it's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky. So we want to turn off. It's weird. It'll keep clicking back and forth between it, but you want the stroke to be off and the fill to be on. Okay, and then when I draw, it's going to switch. But don't worry about it because it's still working. Let me zoom in so you can see what I mean, Jelly Bean. So if we selected this, it actually is doing what we want. It's doing a fill of black and then a stroke is off. But for some reason when you draw with it, I can't figure out why it does that, but it does. So another thing I've noticed is don't hit the back button too many times because it'll change all your settings, which you don't want that to happen either. So it's better just to select something and delete it. I'm going to make this even lighter. Just put dog because it's still, I want it to be really light. Let's see what 70 does. Okay, now the reason it didn't work is, yes, I was on the right layer, but I didn't click the picture. You have to have it selected. That's why it's a little different than Photoshop. It's still not working. It's weird. Let's see here. Template dim. Oh, I'm going backwards. Let's do 20. Duh. Okay, so that's a little better. So I'm going to click off. And the blob brush is Shift B if you're wanting to know. Shift B. And you can actually double click here and lots of things will pop up. You have to be using a Wacom tablet for this. I want you to be. And you need to set this one on pressure right here. I've kind of played with this a little bit. I kind of like it closer to this side, fidelity. Fidelity keeps it like how you draw it, and smooth, and you can move this over here if you want. It will, it changes your line just a little bit. It doesn't keep it exactly like you want it, but it does smooth it out, which is kind of nice. If you want it, after you draw something, if you want to keep it selected, you can. I've tried that. Not my thing. If you want it to merge, you can actually check these boxes to do that too. Oh my God, it's already 3 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and I'm going to outline his face real quick. Okay. Okay, so here I've used my blob brush to outline, and you can see that when you press down lightly, it's thin, but as you press down bigger, it's fatter, which I think works really well. A lot of people like the blob brush. I still haven't decided if I like it or not. We'll see. Let's turn off the dog and let's see what we got. Okay, so I want to make it kind of more of a cartoon. I'm hitting Command Z. I have it set on my pen because I know I need it a lot. Oops. Get it. Okay, and that's probably good right now. Let's get this. The thing about the blob brush is that if we wanted to come in and add more thickness, we can. to certain areas, and it just makes it its own shape, which is kind of cool. If it's the same color, if I switch to a different color, it won't blob with itself. If it has to blob, it has to be the same color is what I'm saying. And then I notice if I hit Z, I can just go back and forth on my thing, which I kind of like. On my trackpad, I like zooming that way better than doing Command plus on my thing. Okay. Anyway, I could do this all day. So in the next video, I will show you how you can, this is called inking, and next I'll show you how to do fills.